I don't have a life! I cannot love! I have no purpose!
Holy crap.
A man wakes up in the middle of the night after hearing a strange noise coming from outside. Curious and uneasy, he steps out to check what's going on. As he looks toward the woods, he suddenly notices a mysterious creature standing there, making the situation feel unsettling and unexpected.
Oh, whoa. Standing right there. Let me try to zoom in. Holy crap.
It has a huge head and a long, skinny neck, giving it a very unusual appearance. When the creature realizes the man has spotted it, it slowly backs away and disappears into the dark forest. The man reacts with shock, but mentions he has seen similar creatures around his property before, suggesting this isn't the first time something like this has appeared there. Since the exact location isn't known, there isn't much information available to investigate the sighting further. A clip shared on TikTok by a traveler named Road31990, who documents his solo cycling through remote places, captured a moment that felt very different from his usual calm and reflective content, making viewers question what might really happen when you're alone in isolated areas. While traveling alone and camping in the middle of a vast desert surrounded by tall dunes, the cyclist found himself completely isolated with no towns, roads, or signs of civilization nearby. Around 3 a.m., he was suddenly awakened by strange noises coming from just outside his tent. Instead of stepping out into the darkness, he decided to stay inside and start recording. Something seemed to be moving slowly outside, lingering just beyond the thin fabric of the tent, but there was no voice and no clear explanation for what it was. The clip was later shared online, suggesting he eventually got out of the situation safely, but no follow-up was ever posted, leaving the encounter unexplained and raising questions about who or what might have been outside that night. While walking down a quiet street late at night, someone recorded something disturbing.
What the hell?
A human-like figure could be seen moving on all fours, but the way it moved looked unnatural, with its hips raised unusually high and its posture seeming completely off. After filming it for a few seconds, the person became frightened and ran away. Some viewers believe it could be a cryptid, while others question whether the footage is even real. A hiker walking through a forest in Slovakia began filming after feeling that something wasn't right around him. While scanning the area with his camera, he zoomed in and noticed a large creature standing nearby. The sight shocked him, and he immediately ran away, later questioning whether the figure he saw could have been Bigfoot. A group of fish was seen moving across farmland, far from any visible water, surprising the person who filmed the scene. The fish were not ordinary species, but mudskippers, amphibious fish known for their ability to survive outside water for extended periods. Unlike most fish, mudskippers can breathe through their skin and the lining of their mouth and throat, allowing them to remain on land. They also use their strong pectoral fins to crawl, hop, and move across muddy or wet surfaces. The unusual sight of fish traveling across land is therefore not mysterious, but a natural behavior for mudskippers, which are specially adapted to live both in water and on land. A group of French-Canadian explorers decided to check out an abandoned cabin deep in a remote area, and even chose to camp right outside its front door. Considering the eerie setting and the reputation of places like that, the situation already felt tense, as if something unsettling was bound to happen sooner or later.
Ouais. Fait que ce fut... c'est une super de belle soirée. Qu'est-ce que vous en pensez, les amis?
Moi, je pense que le feu, il a réussi à me dire. Il a réussi à tabarouette.
Un esti de beau feu.
Check, check.
Ah! Frank! Pogne la flashlight! Vite! Pogne la flashlight! Fuck, c'était quoi? C'est où? C'est parti là-haut. Il est chaud, là! Il est chaud, là! You!
A group camping outside an abandoned cabin noticed a strange figure briefly appear in the doorway while they were filming. When they went closer to check, nothing was there. Moments later, the figure appeared again outside the cabin, but when they rushed toward it, it suddenly disappeared without any sound or trace, leaving them confused about what they had actually seen. In late winter, a man was hiking through a remote valley in Colorado, far from any houses or towns. While standing on a high rocky outcrop, he began filming the stunning view around him. During the recording, something unusual caught his attention below in the valley. Two dark figures were moving across the landscape, appearing large with broad shoulders and long arms. Moments later, they disappeared into the trees. The sight made him uneasy, so he decided to leave the area. Even now, he still doesn't know what he saw that day, but it didn't seem human. A woman says she hasn't been able to sleep properly for weeks because something inside her house keeps disturbing her at night. It started with small, subtle things. One night, she woke up to the sound of objects being pushed across the floor, followed by a quiet voice calling her name from somewhere in the room. At first, there wasn't enough evidence to know what was happening. Some people thought it might be an intruder hiding in the house, while others believed it could be something paranormal. According to her, the next video only made the situation worse.
But yeah, it was super. Yeah, I'll see if you can come over in a bit. You should bring your dog. Your dog's really, really big and cute. Nope. Mom?
This time, it wasn't a voice. In the video, what looks like a face briefly appears from inside the wardrobe, barely visible at first, like something peeking out from the darkness before quickly pulling back again. She says she tried several small protective steps she found online, like cleansing the room and keeping the closet shut at night, hoping the activity would stop. However, it never fully went away. What made it even more unsettling was that the appearances always seemed to come from the same place. For a few days, the activity stopped, making it seem like it was finally over, but then it returned again. After sending the footage to a paranormal investigator, she says she was advised not to open the wardrobe again until a proper investigation could be carried out. For now, she has left the house and is staying with a friend. The situation leaves one question. Was it really some kind of paranormal presence, or was there something else hiding inside the closet? A trail camera placed in the woods to capture a rumored creature recorded a small animal standing among the trees. Some people believe the creature could be the legendary Greyman, which is sometimes described as a spirit that warns people about danger. In the footage, the small creature stands still for a moment before quickly running back into the forest. Because the image is unclear, it is hard to confirm what it really is, and it could simply be a small monkey or another animal that was mistaken for something mysterious. The video comes from Grizzly Gaz, a UK outdoor adventure and wild camping channel where the host explores remote areas while sharing local folklore and personal camping experiences. This footage was recorded on March 9th, 2026 at Brightest Moor in North Yorkshire, England. Gaz arrives at the rugged landscape and searches for a suitable stealth camping spot among large rock formations linked to local folklore, including the bride, house stone, and groomstone. As daylight begins to fade, he sets up a sheltered campsite among the rocks for the night.
What is that? Doesn't smell like it, please. Whatever it is. Sounds like wind chimes. Hear that? Look. Probably a train in distance.
Later, while lying in his tent, Gaz starts hearing faint metallic noises carried across the moor. The sound is similar to pieces of metal lightly clinking together somewhere among the rocks. Since the area is otherwise completely quiet, the strange noise makes the atmosphere feel more unsettling.
Talking.
Yeah, so yeah, coaching mentally, I think it's one of the mentally you just need a little bit more subject, aren't you?
During the night, two women unexpectedly walk very close to his hidden campsite. Not realizing anyone is there, their voices and footsteps carry clearly across the rocky ground. They pass within about 10 feet of Gaz's tent, creating a tense moment as he stays completely still to avoid being noticed.
And I can hear that. Well, I've been hearing like screams. It's really weird.
In the early morning, Gaz suddenly wakes to distant screaming or shrieking sounds somewhere across the moor. The echoes bounce between the rocks, making it hard to tell where the noise is coming from. He wonders if it might be wildlife, a bird, or even a person. The night turns out to be more intense than expected, with metallic noises, unexpected people passing nearby, and eerie cries in the distance. By morning, he packs up his camp and leaves, reflecting on how different the place feels once darkness falls. The saiga antelope is an animal known for its large and unusual nose. The nose helps it survive in harsh environments by warming cold air in winter, adding moisture to dry air in summer, and filtering dust and sand in the dry areas where it lives. It also helps produce nasal sounds that are used during communication and mating. Saiga antelopes live in parts of Eurasia, including Russia, Kazakhstan, Mongolia, Turkmenistan, and Uzbekistan, where they usually live in dry grasslands, steppes, and desert areas. Their strange nose is simply an adaptation that helps them survive in these conditions. A man was walking through the woods late at night when something suddenly made him stop in his tracks. He quickly pulled out his phone and recorded a short clip before fear took over. Moments later, he turned and ran as fast as he could. Some people think it may have been a bobcat, since their calls can sound strangely similar to human cries. Others believe it could have been a mimic, a creature said to imitate human voices to lure people deeper into the woods. The question remains, was it simply an animal, or did he come dangerously close to something far more unsettling? In the 1980s, deep in the forests of Alberta, Canada, a camper noticed something moving in the distance and quickly started recording. The short clip shows a large bipedal figure walking through the trees. It doesn't quite look like a person, and it also doesn't match any known animal from the area. Some people believe it could be Sasquatch, while others think it was simply someone wearing a costume. Whatever was actually captured in that footage remains a mystery today. In 2025, a Reddit user known as UnderstandingFair494 shared a disturbing experience while camping in East Scotland. Late at night, just as he was getting ready to sleep, a loud and high-pitched scream suddenly echoed through the woods, breaking the silence of the night. The scream continued again and again, sounding almost human. Some commenters suggested it was likely a fox, but he wasn't fully convinced. To him, the sound didn't quite match what he heard that night. It raises the question, was it simply a fox making an unusual call, or was something else out there in the forest? The video is from the Marty Camper, a UK wild camping channel where the host documents solo outdoor trips in scenic and unusual places. His videos often include campfire cooking, bushcraft, and relaxed storytelling while sharing his experiences in nature. This footage was recorded on April 28, 2025, near a historic stone folly built in 1796 in the United Kingdom. After arriving, he sets up camp beside the old structure and walks around the area, noticing graffiti on the walls, basic seating nearby, and woodland surrounding the site. As daylight fades, the calm setting begins to feel slightly unsettling.
Feels well eerie when you're inside. Look, when you look out windows. Just looks spooky, doesn't it? Seat tent. Definitely eerie at night. Keep hearing noises, screaming.
As night fully sets in, the atmosphere around the folly becomes more uneasy. Long shadows spread across the woodland as the host carefully walks around the structure, noting how different the place feels after the light fades.
Well, it looks eerie, does that out there, doesn't it? Finally back in tent. Can feel a bit of a breeze coming over from fields that are in front. Be nice to get this tent door shut, get all cosy in here. It was quite eerie out there though, and while I was filming, I thought, what's that light coming towards me? And it was this young lad. He'd set off while it was light, and obviously it got a second of me saying that. We both heard it, and then we just looked at each other, and he went, anyway, I'll see you later, mate. And we just fist bumped, and he walked off. Honestly, it'd be something to know, it'd be just kids down bottom. But...
Later, while sitting inside his tent, he hears distant screaming and rustling coming from the woods below. At first, he thinks it might be children somewhere far away, but the sudden noises still make the moment tense as he listens carefully. While trying to figure out the sounds, a local teenager appears nearby with a torch, and the two pause and listen as the distant screaming echoes from deeper in the forest.
Here, chilling out, and I thought, what's that noise? Like a clicking. And then I realised it was like a bike, a chain. So I popped my head out and noticed there were some lads. They must have come up to do a little bit of wacky backy without the parents seeing them or finding them. And I just asked them, what's them noises down bottom? Can you hear it? And they were like, oh, no, I can't hear it. But there is an homeless man down bottom. So if you refer back to one of my videos, it was a short video where I found like, it looked like a little cabin in woods. I thought, it's not right in this, like how's this managed to be here and no one's spotted it? Apparently it's well known that it's a homeless man that lives there. Crazy. So it could be having a party or dancing around a campfire naked, couldn't he? Could be doing out.
Eventually, he discovers the noises are likely coming from local teenagers and a homeless man known to stay somewhere nearby. Once this becomes clear, the earlier fear fades, though the situation still feels a bit tense. The night becomes a mix of suspense and curiosity. By morning, the cold and damp conditions give way to scenic views of the countryside, and he reflects on how solo wild camping in quiet historic places can quickly turn into unexpected experiences after dark. Brian and Marisa from Explore Camp Repeat share their latest off-road camping adventure in the coastal mountains near Long Beach Peninsula, Washington. After spending the day exploring lakes and trails and spotting otters and possibly a cougar, they settle into their remote campsite as night falls.
They run over our light.
Yeah.
What'd they do?
Tension rises when a car suddenly drives into the campsite at 12:30 a.m., knocking over lights and interrupting Brian and Maurice's quiet night. The unexpected visitors, seen collecting water from the lake, possibly for a vehicle problem, put the couple on high alert, leaving the atmosphere charged with uncertainty.
And so I walked down to the end of the road, and there's a car just sitting there. So I don't know how long it's been there for. So.
I don't know.
So.
Are we packing up?
Yes, I don't feel safe here.
Alright.
So.
Alright, let's get dressed and...
When a second vehicle shows up at the remote campsite, the tension rises even more. Brian and Marisa feel uneasy and unsure of what the strangers might do, making their isolated location feel far riskier.
It's cracked. What a fun and exciting day, and then just turned into morning. Fun and exciting morning. So, holy moly.
I have like so much adrenaline coursing through me right now.
Wow.
Alright guys, we are packing up in the dark. It's about midnight. Yeah, if you're ever in a situation where you don't feel safe, just leave. It is way better to leave and feel safe than to have something happen and you could have done something about it. So, unfortunately, that's the situation we're in.
In the darkness, Brian and Marisa quickly pack their gear, focusing on safety. Armed with a flashlight, air horn, and other protective tools, they make a fast exit from the campsite, leaving the uncertainty behind. In the darkness, Brian and Marisa quickly pack their gear, focusing on safety. Armed with a flashlight, air horn, and other protective tools, they make a fast exit from the campsite, leaving the uncertainty behind. But who were those strangers? Were they just dealing with a vehicle issue, or was something more unusual going on? And could this remote spot ever feel safe again? A short video shared by the TikTok account Anfider shows footage recorded years ago during a solo overnight camping trip. The clip is less than a minute long and captures a moment from that night while the person was alone outdoors. As night falls during the solo camping trip, strange sounds start echoing through the forest that don't resemble typical nighttime wildlife. Alone in the darkness, the camper begins recording, capturing only the unsettling noises with no visible movement or source. The clip never reveals what caused the sounds, leaving it unclear whether it was an unknown animal, a natural occurrence, or something else entirely. Strange glowing lights have been spotted in different parts of the world, and in one clip, a floating light can be seen hovering between trees, while its colors constantly change. No one really knows what these lights are, and many theories have started circulating. Some people believe the videos are just hoaxes or pranks, but as more sightings continue to appear, it's becoming harder for some to dismiss them completely. Because of all the talk about aliens, others have started wondering if the lights could be connected to extraterrestrial activity or some unknown presence. The footage is from Lisa's Escapades, a U.S. adventure channel that documents outdoor exploration in remote wilderness areas. The videos often include camping, hiking, wildlife encounters, and occasional cryptid investigations while showing the creators' real-time reactions. This video was recorded on February 2nd, 2026 in Ocala National Forest, Florida. The group hikes toward Tischler Mound, following the path where a strange sighting had previously been reported, and they talk about an earlier experience where they claimed to see a large, dark figure moving through the trees.
Because he tripped over one of these palm fronds when he was running from us.
Right.
And I really believe it was a family of them. And I think he was diverting us. Because when I look at my footage now, I can see what looks like a female with a child, hunkered down while he's running the opposite way. But, it's hard to tell. We're coming on up to it now. We were right about here when he looked ahead and said, "There he is." Saw him running from left to right. And we're all looking, and we got all the way up to here.
While hiking, the group spots a dark shape moving fast across the forest floor. They quickly try to record it with a GoPro. In the footage, the figure appears to briefly lose balance on a palm frond before continuing through the brush. The group talks about its size and the way it moves, trying to figure out what it might be. They also think they notice smaller shapes crouching nearby, which they suspect could be other figures.
Is when he ran through here, he kind of tripped, ran back that way, but in my video you can see what looks like a female and a small one right over here next to a tree, hunkered down. I don't know which tree it was now, but this is why I know it's the area, because Pam was leaning against this tree right here, and she goes, "Are you guys kidding me?" She thought we were joking. We weren't joking. That was the tree, and I know because of the way it spars out here. So it happened right here. So I want to say it was like right back here is where it happened. There was a palm frond back there, and he tripped over it. I don't see the exact one now. There's a lot of deadfall, but from the storms, but so this is where it happened, and you could see there was a palm trail on the ground where it looked like it was using this palm trail to go across to the lake right over here. And the lake's up here, I'll show it to you. But yeah, that was it.
That's awesome.
And it was so fast that you just wouldn't even think about it.
After the sighting, the group watches the footage again and slows it down to follow where the figure moved through the forest. They point out broken palm fronds, disturbed leaves, and scattered debris that could suggest something large passed through the area. Some also think the movement and nearby shapes might mean more than one figure was present, though nothing is clearly identified.
See him? Here, you want to get up closer?
Here, look. You got a light on it? Yeah.
Did that help it?
No, that's not helping my photo.
It's pretty weird to see them out how cold it is. Usually they're trying to hide. Or he's trying to hunt those guys. Yeah, how the... That wood beetle. Sucks.
Had something chase us out in the night one time. Man, I made a mistake of going down 9, and it was quite the ordeal off-road. I thought I just heard something. Yeah, I won't go back this area because I believe somebody's research.
While driving past the spot where they previously said they were chased on an earlier visit, the group talks about the forest's history and the unusual encounters they believe have happened there. Their conversation mixes curiosity with caution as they wonder what might be living deep in the dense wilderness. A teenager was hiking alone in a remote forest in the United States when he heard something moving ahead and decided to start recording. The camera captured a large, primate-like figure moving low on all fours and briefly blocking the trail. In a few frames, the body appears bulky, with fur stretched tightly over it and noticeable muscle movement beneath. It didn't really look like a bear, but no one can say for certain what it was. The teenager quickly turned and ran, while the figure remained back in the trees, and he never clearly explained what he thought he had encountered. A lone explorer walking through the wilderness suddenly feels like they are not alone. Trusting that feeling, the person points a camera toward the thick bushes and notices a creature hiding behind a tree. The figure appears to have dark fur and is standing on 2 legs, features often linked with the legendary Bigfoot. The moment becomes frightening as the explorer realizes they might be face to face with one of the most famous cryptids people talk about. The video comes from Exploring the Unknown, a U.S. exploration channel that investigates remote forests, abandoned places, and locations rumored to have unexplained activity. This footage was recorded on April 2nd, 2023, in a remote forest in the United States. The explorers enter the woods at night using only a phone for light and filming. Before going deeper, they mention that friends had warned them about strange reports from the area. As they continue walking, they start noticing unusual details on the forest floor, including small rock piles and carefully placed branches that form patterns which don't appear natural.
My mind changed completely. I didn't think that the things that were in this forest would be in this forest. I mean, there were everything from bones to weird piles of sticks that could be classified as a burn pile, but why would they be in the middle of the woods?
It's a like hatch opening. Brian.
Exploring the unknown.
Have you ever opened it? I have.
Wait, is it an actual hatch? No shot.
While exploring the area, they come across what looks like a hatch in the ground. When they open it, they find a small concrete tunnel hidden beneath the forest floor, suggesting that people may have used the site at some point. Nearby, they notice a mound of soil that appears unusually smooth and shaped. The surrounding trees also have strange markings, and the disturbed ground makes it seem like the area may have been deliberately altered.
Reeking here for like 2 weeks every time you drove down the just reek of. Do you remember that, bro?
Curious about the mound, they begin digging lightly into the soil and quickly notice that the dirt seems to have been loosened before. This suggests the ground was previously disturbed, raising more questions about what might have been buried or placed there.
Maybe we can find the head? Nothing around?
That is such a good point. It's like there is no skull. Like,
for sure. Everything is all together.
Soon after, they notice more bones in the same area. Finding several of them makes the situation feel even more unsettling, suggesting the forest might be hiding remains beneath the ground. After leaving the spot, they mention how heavy and uncomfortable the atmosphere felt while they were inside the woods. But the tension fades once they step back out. Looking back on the experience, they point to the strange rock arrangements, the underground tunnel, the disturbed soil, and the bones as reasons the investigation felt especially disturbing, leaving the impression that the forest may still be hiding secrets underground. A trail camera placed in a remote forest to record local wildlife captured something unexpected. While reviewing the footage, the owner first noticed a deer calmly walking past the camera. However, in the background behind the deer, a large hairy figure could be seen standing upright, almost completely still. In a few moments, the figure moved slightly, just enough to show it was alive. In the background, there also appeared to be a structure made from branches, arranged in a deliberate way, almost like a small shelter. The footage left many people wondering what the camera actually captured that day. The video comes from Nick C., a Canadian outdoor creator known for solo wilderness adventures, bushcraft, and winter camping in remote areas. His videos often show the calm beauty of nature, like open fire cooking, shelter building, and quiet landscapes, while also capturing the tension of being completely alone in the wilderness. This footage was recorded on January 10th, 2025, on a remote ridgeline east of the Rocky Mountains in Canada.
Totally wasn't making fake Sasquatch prints in the snow 5 minutes ago. No. But yeah, no, should be a fun one. I'm gonna set up the tent here and yeah.
The moment is meant as a joke, but it introduces a subtle theme that continues throughout the trip. The feeling of being alone in a vast wilderness where visibility is limited and anything moving nearby could easily go unnoticed.
Oh no. Ah, it's got stuck right in another tree. Oh, that was kind of scary.
Later, while cutting firewood at camp, a large dead tree suddenly shifts and falls in an uncontrolled direction. The loud crash breaks the quiet forest, and for a moment, the situation becomes dangerous, showing one of the real risks of traveling alone in the wilderness. Even a simple task like preparing firewood can quickly turn life-threatening when no one else is around.
About an hour or two ago, down in the valley, I couldn't tell you what it was. It was kind of like a whoop, 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 whoop. I don't know. It was really far away, I think. But yeah, that kind of creeped me out a little bit. But yeah. Gonna head to bed, and I'll see you guys.
While lying in his sleeping bag, Nick hears a strange noise coming from the valley below the ridge. He describes it as a hoop-like call echoing from the darkness. The sound carries clearly through the cold air, but it's too far away for him to identify what caused it.
Yeah. Gonna head to bed, and I'll see you guys in the morning.
After the sound repeats, Nick admits it makes him uneasy. Being inside the tent limits his view of what's happening outside, making the isolation feel stronger. The night passes without further disturbance, but the strange sound stays on his mind. By morning, the tension fades as he packs up camp, though the mysterious noise from the valley remains unexplained. In this controversial footage, an explorer claims to have had a direct encounter with a large ape-like creature that he believes was Bigfoot. At the start of the video, there appears to be a struggle between the person filming and the creature. The explorer says the situation turned into a fight, and later claims that he managed to kill the creature. He even shared images that he says show the body as proof of what happened. However, the footage is unclear, and the claim is highly debated, leaving many people questioning whether the creature was really Bigfoot or something else. A group of campers was getting ready to settle in for the night when a pair of glowing eyes suddenly reflected in their flashlight. Just a few feet away, a mountain lion sat quietly, watching them in the darkness. They kept recording from a distance and tried to remain calm. The clip ends there, leaving it unclear what happened next. A group of friends was setting up their campsite in a remote forest when the camera suddenly picked up movement between the trees. At first it was hard to notice, but then a tall, dark figure appeared standing upright among the trunks. Its size and thick hair didn't seem to match any known animal. Realizing what they had just seen and recorded, the group became alarmed and quickly ran back to their car. In this footage, a person named Ika claims to have seen a strange creature hiding in the bushes that he believes could be Bigfoot. In the video, the creature appears to have a lot of fur and a body shape that does not clearly match a human or a known ape. Its posture and the way it moves also look unusual. Because of this, Ika believes it might be the legendary creature, although it could also be someone in a costume trying to create a prank. This eerie clip comes from Romany Pirates, a UK van life and travel channel that shares camper van adventures, boat builds, and nature trips around the United Kingdom. On August 1st, 2023, the couple was staying in the Peak District National Park after a long day of traveling. They found a quiet spot in the countryside to park their van for the night and started winding down by making some food and hot drinks. Their dog, Daisy, rested inside the van but stayed alert to the surroundings outside.
I don't want to get outside. I had to feed Daisy 5 sausages already because as soon as she heard noises she started barking. So I'm just trying to keep her as quiet as I possibly can do. I feel like summer feels really. I don't like the feeling of it. It'll be alright, it'll dry up. I can hear people coming around. Right, so we've driven about, 30 minutes?
Yeah, about 30 minutes down the road.
We found another park.
Just shaking.
Poor Daisy, she's literally shaking.
So they basically, a load of people ran off laughing, and we heard them drive off.
Without any warning, a loud bang suddenly hits the side of the van. Both of them immediately jolt in surprise, and Daisy reacts too. The sound is so close that it seems like it came from right outside the vehicle.
Middle of the night, so
It was just like a loud bang, so basically like a really loud bang. It was right next to my head, so I didn't know what it was. So I apologise for my language. A lot of laughing. It seems like it were probably like, you know, young lads or something like that, I don't know, but they're obviously old enough to drive because they were in cars. As soon as we knew it had sort of gone quiet, we've just obviously got straight in van, we've driven off, we've made sure nobody's following us. We've come to a place that's on Park for Night.
Yeah, it's
because we didn't pick the last place from Park for Night, did we?
No,
We just pulled up.
We just pulled up. We didn't even know where we were really.
And we do that sometimes, you know, we've done that regularly, we do it.
As they drive off, the couple tries to calm Daisy and themselves, agreeing that moving to another spot is the safest choice for the night.
In this beautiful park up that we've got, by the way, it's really nice. And what it appears that they've done is they've thrown an egg at the van. So they've obviously, you know, they obviously get people parking up there regularly. Otherwise, I'm presuming they wouldn't have had eggs on them. So they've obviously
they've done it because they've thought, like I said last night, they've done it because they've thought it's funny, you know.
Yeah.
It's a laugh in it to them, you know.
And it's not to us because this is at home, and it's like somebody coming round your home.
You feel attacked, like somebody's attacking your home at that point, and it's like, what do you do?
So please, people out there, if you're watching this and you've ever done out like that, don't do it because it's not nice. Yeah, stop it. It's not nice. But so it's just an egg on the side of the van.
After the strange disturbance, the couple keeps traveling through the Peak District. They spend some time walking along misty trails, taking in the scenery, and watching the local wildlife. They also try to reach the famous Mermaid's Pool, a spot linked to local legends, but don't manage to get there during this trip. Even with the earlier scare, the moment ends up being another reminder that unexpected things can happen while living the van life overnight. This Ring camera footage seemed to confirm what many people in the neighborhood had been worried about for months. Several homes on the street had reported strange activity. Some residents heard slow footsteps outside their windows late at night, while others noticed their motion sensors going off even when no one was there. A few also said their security cameras would glitch or shut off around the same hours. At first, these incidents were dismissed as paranoia or technical issues, but as more households reported similar experiences, fear spread through the neighborhood. Residents eventually brought in religious leaders to bless and cleanse the street. For a short time, things went quiet. Then, a few days later, one family's Ring camera captured something unusual. On the far side of the fence, a dark figure can be seen slowly moving through the night. After the footage began circulating, neighbors came up with different theories. Some believed the cleansing didn't drive something away, but instead invited a protective presence, something acting like a guardian watching over the street. Others thought the figure had already been there long before the blessing and was never forced out, only becoming more careful in how it moved. Until more footage or evidence appears, the situation remains unexplained. Reddit user Jacob Abraham was hiking off the trail when he noticed something in the distance that initially looked like a bear. He took out his phone and started recording, but the more he watched it move, the less certain he was that it was actually a bear, though he still couldn't figure out what it might be. After showing the footage to a friend, he was encouraged to share it online. The clip left many people wondering if he might have captured something unusual, maybe even Bigfoot. One morning, while getting ready to leave his tent, a man noticed something strange through the tent window. A huge creature was standing outside, trying to look inside. It had dark fur and looked similar to a large gorilla, but the way it moved seemed different. Its behavior appeared more human-like than animal-like, which made the sighting even more unsettling. Believing it could be Bigfoot, he later shared the footage online. The video is blurry, making it difficult to analyze clearly, but the unusual appearance and movements of the creature left people questioning what it really was. Someone camping in Colombia noticed a strange craft in the sky that appeared to hover and move unusually. The video is grainy, which makes it difficult to say for sure what it is. Some viewers believe it could be a genuine UFO, while others think it might be AI generated, a staged hoax, or simply a balloon. For the camper who witnessed it, however, the moment felt real and a bit unsettling. The eerie clip comes from Chill Van Life, a UK YouTube channel that shares laid-back van life and stealth camping adventures. The creator travels in a cozy red van called Doggo, exploring quiet roadside spots while showing simple cooking setups, overnight routines, and ways to stay discreet while camping. On March 18th, 2023, the camper pulls into a quiet roadside parking area somewhere in the United Kingdom late on a Saturday evening and carefully checks the surroundings before deciding to stay the night.
Spot a little bit in the dark next to a few cars, and now it's time to get stealth. Now I don't get light leakage on the blinds, but this blackout curtain, I get light leakage down the sides. Like there. Big gap. Big gap, big gap. There we go. I think the biggest problem for a lot of new stealth campers, and even campers who've been doing it for some time, we all have the same problem. It's the worry and the anxiety of doing a camp. It's very exciting when you're on the camp, but before the camp there's a lot of anxiety, a lot of worry. Am I going to be spotted? Am I going to get seen?
Stealth mode is on as the camper quickly adjusts the curtains and window covers, making sure the cozy interior of Doggo stays hidden from view. There's a brief moment of tension as everything is done quietly and carefully, avoiding any attention from people passing by.
Worry about, am I going to find the right location? When I get there, is there going to be somewhere to park? Now the thing is, this affects all of us. We all have the same worries, we all have the same fears. You've just got to do it. Plan as best you can.
As the night continues, the camper struggles to fall asleep despite Doggo being fully set up. The nerves of stealth camping and the late hour keep them on edge. They share a simple tip for cold nights, placing clothes in the sleeping bag first to warm them up. By morning, breakfast is made inside the van before stepping out for a short walk around the quiet area. The overnight stay highlights a common stealth camping challenge, the tension of the first few hours before things finally settle down. The Glimmerman is often described as a transparent creature that blends into its surroundings, making it extremely difficult to see, especially in wooded areas. In one piece of footage recorded in 2014 by a group of Bigfoot researchers exploring forests in Washington, something strange appears on the ground that looks almost invisible, briefly moving before disappearing just as quickly. The camera happened to be recording at the time, capturing the moment on video. The clip left viewers divided, with some believing it could be evidence of something unknown, while others think it might just be a stage moment or a trick meant to gain attention. A woman was camping alone near a remote lake when she noticed something unusual in the water and decided to record it. Beneath the surface, a green light could be seen pulsing slowly. As far as she knew, there was no one else around, and the light made no sound at all. It could have been divers or some kind of equipment with a reasonable explanation, but considering how isolated the location felt, the sight of it seemed strangely out of place. In this video, a strange, transparent figure can be seen briefly walking in and out of the frame. The people who recorded the footage were confused and could not explain what they had captured. At first, they ignored it, but later, when they returned to the woods with another man, he said he felt a very unsettling presence in the area. When they showed him the earlier recording, it seemed to match the strange feeling he described. Because of this, the group began to believe that something unusual might be present in that forest, leaving them convinced the place could be haunted. A Swedish true crime. YouTuber named Alan was filming in the woods late at night when the camera captured something strange. From behind a large tree, a creature briefly peeked out with a small head and glowing eyes before quickly disappearing. The sight startled her because the figure didn't look like a person or a typical animal. Some viewers later suggested it might have been a nocturnal animal, but its appearance, especially the long hair and glowing eyes, didn't clearly match any common animal, leaving people unsure about what it actually was. In July 2011, near Hudson Bay, a man recorded footage after hearing strange noises in the area. Instead of leaving, he decided to investigate while keeping his camera on. As he moved through the darkness, he suddenly captured a pale creature on the ground. The figure appeared thin with glowing eyes and arms that looked somewhat human-like. The footage was shaky, but the creature's appearance looked unusual and did not clearly match a normal person. It seemed to have very pale skin and lacked clear features like ears or a visible nose. Because of its strange look, some viewers compared it to a creature often called the Rake, although it is impossible to confirm what the figure actually was. A post shared on the True Cryptozoology subreddit shows a fisherman relaxing by a river somewhere in Thailand. The community is known for discussing strange creatures and unexplained events. In the video, the fisherman appears to be calmly enjoying his time on the water, but the situation suddenly becomes unsettling as something unusual seems to happen during the recording. In the video, the cameraman records a strange creature slowly moving through the river. It clearly doesn't look like a normal animal, such as an alligator. The body appears pale and swollen, with ridges along its side that almost look like exposed bones. The head is especially disturbing because it seems to have many long, pointed teeth. The creature moves across the water in a slow, drifting way that makes it look alive rather than just floating. Some viewers believe it could be an unknown animal living in Thailand's rivers. Others think it might simply be a bloated animal carcass, possibly livestock carried by the current, since bodies in water can swell and change shape during decomposition. Even with that explanation, the sight of it moving across the surface is still very unsettling. A person exploring remote woods at night captured footage of a strange white figure floating in the air. The explorer said they had gone there after hearing stories about unusual happenings in the area, but did not expect to actually see something like this. While recording, the person also felt a strong and unsettling presence that left them frozen with fear. Some viewers who watched the footage believe the explorer was lucky to escape safely, as they think encounters like this could be dangerous. The video shows what appears to be a floating figure, though what it actually is remains unclear. A man was riding through a dense forest when something unusual caught his attention between the trees. He noticed a massive humanoid figure standing there, completely dark, almost as if it was absorbing the light around it. He began recording and tried to zoom in, but the image stayed blurry, which only made the footage feel more unsettling. Some believe it could be Bigfoot, a creature often associated with intimidating displays like breaking branches deep in the woods, while skeptics argue it might simply be a woodsman seen from far away in low light. Whatever it was, the unclear footage leaves plenty of room for speculation. Reddit user SasquatchBalls45 shared a video that a friend had sent from a hunting lease near Honobia, Oklahoma. In the clip, the friend noticed a dark figure walking upright through the trees and quietly recorded it until it eventually disappeared from view. After that moment, the figure was never seen again. Many commenters believed it was an impressive capture, while some skeptics suggested it might simply be another hunter moving through the woods. What it actually was remains open to interpretation. A creator documents a solo visit to a national park that begins as a calm and routine trip. He walks through the forest exploring and eventually chooses a spot to set up a small campsite and start a fire. As he goes deeper into the woods, he casually observes the quiet surroundings, noticing unusual plants and soft, muddy ground that suggests the area isn't often visited. The atmosphere remains relaxed until a sudden cracking sound echoes from somewhere in the distance, breaking the silence.
I'm gonna go under this. Hello? Okay. Just gotta make a fire. I feel a lot better when I got a fire going. What the hell is that? This is a decent spot. I'm gonna go gather some wood. I'm gonna make a little fire, have a nice beer. I heard something cracking in the woods. Now, if you live in Canada, when you hear something cracking, it doesn't usually mean a small animal. It's usually a deer, a bear, anything of that sort. So it should never be taken lightly when you hear a branch break.
He ignores the noise and focuses on starting a fire. The ground is wet from days of rain, and most of the wood around him is damp, but he uses birch bark to help get the fire going. After some effort, the fire finally catches, bringing light and warmth, but the strange sounds soon return.
Yes. What was that? Hello? I'm not afraid of this fire spreading because there's wetness everywhere. I'm just gonna do a 360 around camp because
He suddenly stops talking and looks toward the tree line. He calls out, hoping to identify an animal or let anything nearby know he's there, but nothing answers, and the forest goes completely quiet. He walks around the campsite, checking the area while keeping the fire burning, explaining that a larger fire can keep animals away, though his voice now sounds more cautious.
What? Hello? Crap. Hello? I better get some more branches. I don't like what I'm hearing.
When the cracking sounds continue, he quickly gathers more branches and adds them to the fire. He admits that if the noises keep happening, he might decide to leave. Nothing can be seen around him, but the uneasy atmosphere alone makes him question whether he should stay. When the forest finally becomes quiet again, he takes a moment to think about how he deals with fear in situations like this.
I keep hearing those noises. I don't know how long I'll stay. Like I said earlier in the video, when you hear a branch cracking in the woods, it means it's something heavy. I want to think the best case scenario that it's a curious deer, but you never know.
He suggests it might have just been a curious deer, but admits there's no way to be sure. To stay calm, he focuses on controlling his thoughts and paying attention only to what's actually in front of him instead of imagining the worst. He explains that panic usually leads to mistakes. After about 20 minutes without hearing another sound, he begins to relax while the fire continues burning and the forest stays quiet. Whatever was moving in the trees never showed itself, leaving only the uneasy feeling that something had been nearby while he was completely alone. In September 2015, in the small town of Vinita, Oklahoma, a strange situation began unfolding at a local car dealership. Employees at Green Country Ford arrived to find several vehicles badly damaged. Bumpers and fenders had been torn off, and deep bite marks were visible in the metal. Clumps of fur and small traces of blood were also left behind. Police started investigating and suspected a large white dog might be responsible, but many wondered what kind of dog could cause that level of destruction. Despite nighttime searches with spotlights and patrols, the animal was never found. The incidents continued, with more vehicles damaged and repair costs climbing into the thousands. People began questioning whether it was really just a dog or something else entirely. Some pointed to the strength of the damage, while others noticed the repeated visits and strange timing. No suspect was ever caught, the creature was never identified, and the true cause of the Vinita dealership attacks remains a mystery. A woman was hiking alone in a forest when she noticed something moving below. At first, it seemed like it might be a normal animal, but it was difficult to tell what kind it actually was.
That's for sure Grizz, right?
But the longer she watched, the stranger it seemed. The creature was enormous, moving on all fours, yet far too large to be any normal dog. Some people suggested it might have been a dire wolf, a lone alpha, despite the species being extinct for thousands of years. Others believed it could be the dogman, a mysterious creature often reported in remote forests across North America. Whatever it was, its size and the way it moved left her deeply shaken. A video from 2022 shows a figure moving while crouching and slowly walking through the woods. Some people who watched the footage believe the figure could be Bigfoot, mainly because of its shape and the way it moves in the forest. However, the figure also looks very human, which makes the sighting questionable. The video is blurry, like many supposed Bigfoot recordings, but the movement and posture seem more like a person. Because of this, it is possible that the figure is simply someone wearing camouflage and moving through the woods, rather than a legendary creature. A TikTok user in Japan went camping in the wilderness, expecting a quiet night. Later that night, his van suddenly started shaking strongly and the door began banging loudly. At first, it might seem like wind or an animal caused it, but the outdoor camera he had set up showed nothing around the van at the time. Because of this, people began suggesting different ideas about what might have happened. Some believed it could be a spirit, while others thought it might be something unknown in the forest. In the end, there was no clear explanation for what caused the strange disturbance. During the Halloween season, someone recorded strange footage showing a pale figure moving quietly in the dark. The person who uploaded the video said he had been hearing unusual noises around midnight for several nights while he was alone in the area. After building up the courage to find out what was causing the sounds, he set up his camera, expecting to catch someone breaking in. Instead, the camera captured a white figure moving through the darkness, something that reminded many viewers of the creature often called the Rake. When he shared the footage, even the police did not take the situation seriously, leaving the strange sight unexplained. The creepy clip comes from Stray Explorer, a UK YouTube channel known for urban exploration and spending nights in remote places with unsettling reputations. This particular video was recorded on February 26, 2026, deep in a forest in Wales, United Kingdom.
A really weird sound then. I don't even know what it was. There's too much noise going on in here. I don't know why. And I probably always say, but it actually does feel quite creepy here.
Not long after setting up his tent in the steady rain, Andy hears a strange sound coming from somewhere in the woods. The forest suddenly feels tense and unusually quiet, which makes the moment even more unsettling. He even mentions local folklore that says the woods often fall eerily silent when someone enters them.
A really weird sound then. I don't even know what it was. There's too much noise going on in here. I don't know why, and I probably always say, but it actually does feel quite creepy here.
A moment later, a sharp whistle cuts through the forest, sounding close and clearly like something a person would make rather than an animal. Andy quickly shines his torch into the trees and scans the area, but the light reveals nothing at all. With no one in sight, he's left wondering if the whistle came from someone nearby or from something else he can't explain.
Who's out there? I don't know whether to go out there or not. No. There's someone crying. Guys, there's someone crying. Who's there? Hello?
At one point, he checks his car and notices the door is unlocked, even though he's fairly sure he locked it earlier. Later that night, he tries using his spirit box inside his tent. During the session, the device seems to produce oddly direct phrases, including, "I'm behind you now," and "We like your equipment," making the already tense atmosphere around the campsite even more unsettling.
There. That was a bang. Who's out there?
Soon after, a distant, high-pitched scream echoes through the forest, breaking the silence. Andy says his instincts tell him it's time to leave. What started as a normal overnight camp turns into a series of unsettling moments, including whistles, metallic sounds, crying, and distant screams. In the end, he packs up his gear in the dark and leaves the area. A group of sewage workers exploring an abandoned sewer in Liverpool recorded something strange while moving deeper into the tunnels. As they walked through the dark area, they noticed movement in the shadows and saw a mysterious figure hiding in the darkness. While filming, they captured a pair of glowing eyes staring from deeper inside the sewer. The eyes quickly disappeared once they seemed to notice the camera, but soon appeared again, along with what looked like a thin arm reaching out from the darkness and touching the walls. When the camera light flashed, the figure quickly disappeared. Because of the glowing eyes and humanoid shape, some viewers suggested it might resemble the creature often called the Wraith, although the real explanation remains unknown. During mountain construction work, a man noticed a strange figure standing on top of a nearby peak. Curious, he zoomed in with his camera and saw a large figure that looked like what many people describe as Bigfoot. The creature stood there watching the construction below and appeared unhappy about the activity. Since Bigfoot is often said to live in remote mountain areas, some people believe the construction crew might have been disturbing its habitat. The figure did not approach or attack anyone and simply remained on the peak before the sighting ended. A group of people was driving along a forest path when they noticed movement in the woods nearby. Thinking someone might need help, they went to check the area and saw a figure standing behind a tree. When the figure slowly looked out from behind the tree, the person watching became frightened. The shape looked human, but it did not appear to have normal features like skin or clothing. Instead, it looked like a dark, shadow-like form. Because of its appearance, the witnesses believed they might have seen what people often describe as a shadow person. The video comes from Don't Blink Paranormal, a U.S. husband and wife paranormal investigation team known for exploring haunted locations, abandoned places, and doing randonautica trips. This footage was recorded on February 2nd, 2025, in a remote wooded conservation area in Illinois, United States.
We're like,
it's windy.
Yes, and we're on our coordinates, you know.
Coordinates?
Yeah, that too. I'm sorry, guys. I've been sick.
Just.
And what was it again? Blessed what?
Blessed item, I think.
Well, we're on it.
What is this?
What is that? What is that?
Oh, you gotta be kidding me. Why is it always a doll?
That's a bride doll.
A what?
It's a bride doll.
I don't care what kind of doll it is. I don't know what that is.
Is that water?
I don't know.
I don't know.
That's weird.
They discuss whether the effect could just be mist or frozen vapor rising from the water. At the same time, faint sounds echo through the trees, making them more aware of their surroundings.
Take your light off. I don't know. Can you lift it out?
No.
How do you know if you can or not?
Oh, I just poked myself.
You're just like, no?
It's a weight. Well.
Oh. Do we need to go down there?
I'm not going down there.
Shine your light back on it.
Is that a well?
I don't know.
At their final coordinate, set with the intention of finding a good luck charm, they come across a black owl statue leaning against a tree. The owl has exaggerated features that make it look almost horned. Instead of feeling lucky, the statue's strange appearance and placement make them uneasy. Throughout the exploration, each location reveals odd or unexpected objects, from a bridal doll to the owl statue, which seem to match their Randonautica intents in unusual ways, though none of them feel positive or comforting. With freezing temperatures and the lead investigator still recovering from surgery, they decide to end the trip early and head back to their vehicle, left wondering if the locations were truly random or if these objects had been placed there long before they arrived. A hiker was walking through the woods when she suddenly felt like something was watching her. Feeling uneasy, she pulled out her phone and started recording, even though she couldn't see anything around at first. Moments later, a strange figure briefly peeked out from behind a tree, then quickly hid again. It kept moving from tree to tree, popping out to look at her before disappearing each time. The figure seemed to have features similar to Bigfoot, almost like it was playing peekaboo, but the woman was clearly frightened by the encounter. A video recorded in the United States shows a strange vertical line of lights in the night sky. The lights appear in a straight line, which is unusual because stars normally do not form perfectly vertical patterns like that. The unusual sight left people confused and wondering what could have caused it. Since it does not look like a normal star, the footage raised questions about what the lights actually were and why they appeared in such a straight line across the sky. The video comes from What Day Is It Wollevin, a UK adventure and van life channel focused on low-budget, off-grid living and exploring remote wilderness. The footage was recorded on February 7th, 2026 in the Scottish Highlands. The creators reach a remote mountain area surrounded by frozen lakes, waterfalls, and steep hills. With temperatures well below freezing, setting up camp becomes physically demanding, so they use axes and saws to prepare damp firewood for warmth and cooking. Despite the harsh conditions, the place feels calm and empty, and they believe they are completely alone as they begin building their fire.
It smells like someone here.
Oh guys, someone's huskies are let out on the loose, and I don't know how safe they are.
Later, while sitting by the fire after eating, the quiet mountain surroundings are suddenly broken by loud barking and howling echoing through the trees. The sudden shift from silence to intense noise immediately puts them on alert, and it sounds as if several animals are moving quickly toward them.
Well, huskies are more.
Are you surprised?
No? Well, yeah, because... Well, you just gotta make sure. My biggest fear is the dog.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Right, but they can't get us.
I thought they were rule set for us.
Really? Yeah, I was wondering what all the freaking paw prints were about. Did like 20 of them, if not more. Oh, my days.
Look
In the back really. Oh my days, they're coming in now. What's passed through? What the?
The pack runs straight past the van and the nearby fire. While filming carefully, the creators stay close to their vehicle in case they need to leave quickly. The dog's noise and speed as they rush through the campsite make the situation feel chaotic and unpredictable.
But they didn't even look at the van. It's pretty weird. They must be a bit concerned as well. So yeah, it's all good.
I'm just sorting out the bed to get ready to sit in there and chill out. Fire's going down a bit. Got all the wood all nice and dry for tomorrow when we need to start it up again and that. So just a little update of what we're doing, and now I'm gonna use the bathroom and brush my teeth. Alright guys, we're gonna go to bed as it's pretty late now. It's like 11, so good night guys. I'll see you in the morning.
After the pack disappears into the darkness, they inspect the snow around the campsite and find a large trail of paw prints, estimating that more than 20 dogs had just moved through the area. Oddly, none of them showed any interest in the van or the fire, even though they passed very close by. The situation ends without incident, but it leaves them unsettled by how quickly the calm wilderness turned into a risky moment. The story describes a terrifying creature in Venezuela's Gran Sabana region, but the creature is actually known as the Venezuelan poodle moth. In reality, it is not a monster, but a small moth with a fluffy white body and unusual features that make it look strange or scary at first. The insect was photographed in 2009 by zoologist Arthur Anker, and the picture later spread across the internet because of its odd appearance. Scientists believe it may belong to the Artes genus of moths, although it has never been fully studied, and only a few images exist. Despite the creepy stories online, it is simply a rare or poorly studied insect. Its fluffy covering is made of tiny scales like other moths, which may help protect it from predators or help it blend into its surroundings. A video circulating online shows several strange glowing orbs falling from the sky toward Earth. As they enter the atmosphere, they begin to burn like objects normally would, but something unusual happens as they pass through what look like invisible barriers in the air. Around the orbs, strange distortions appear, almost as if they're passing through or tearing some kind of unseen layer. The footage has sparked many theories, with some people suggesting it could be advanced technology, while others believe it might be UFOs or something even more mysterious. Since there's no clear explanation, the clip has left many people questioning what these objects really are. It comes from a UK lifestyle and adventure channel focused on van life, wild camping, and outdoor exploration. The video takes place on November 30th, 2025 at Cannock Chase and White Ladies Priory in the United Kingdom.
It is pitch black.
I can't see where I'm going.
It's dark. You're a bit scared. Give us some light.
I'm trying to put the big one on.
Are you scared?
It's scary.
Oh, you're a little bit. What's that? Okay. Try again. We've got the lighting right. Paul just nearly fell down the bank. We've got a few people behind us. You can't see it over there, but that is Castle Ring.
The group makes their way through the forest toward Castle Ring, a location in Cannock Chase that's well known for local legends and paranormal stories. The woods are almost completely dark, with only their flashlights lighting the trail and the trees around them. As they walk deeper into the area, the silence and isolation of the forest become more noticeable, and some of them mention how unsettling the place feels at night, especially given its reputation for strange sightings and unexplained events.
It's trying to come through because the K2 has flashed.
Can I see here better?
Use our energy.
Bonjour.
Use our energy to light up the lights on the K2.
There's a lot of us here tonight.
Do we just make you feel uncomfortable because there's a lot of us?
A couple of us heard some whispering from here, and we think it came from this area. I've put also 3 balls down that flash, that if you touch the balls or move the balls, they will flash as well.
Soon after the investigation starts, the first strange signs appear. A K2 meter begins flashing on and off, even though there's no clear electrical source nearby. At the same time, some people say they hear faint whisper-like sounds and feel a light pressure on their backs. The sensations are small, but they quickly raise the tension within the group.
I'm not moving, but my legs keep going backwards. But I'm not moving. Okay. I don't want to fall, but my legs keep going.
I said yes. Straight off the bat.
You heard yes?
Straight off the bat.
Yeah. Go, if you want to ask a question.
Parlez-vous français?
No.
Is that a no?
Yeah.
Move round if you want to ask a question, Duncan.
Are you male?
Did you...
Because I don't know if I don't want to fall back, but I feel like, you know, like when the wind blows you,
Yeah.
sort of move back slightly.
Just
like
let
my legs
yourself
want
go.
to go
If you-
back.
if you feel you're going,
But I
just
don't
let yourself
physically
go.
need to.
The team then tries a pendulum-style experiment using a volunteer named Jay as what they call a human pendulum. Standing still with his arms relaxed, Jay slowly begins to sway. The group asks yes or no questions and treats the direction of his movement as possible answers, which makes the atmosphere during the session even more intense.
Okay. Come back to the middle. Back to the middle. Stand up.
My shoulders.
Okay. Okay.
Going backwards?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Have you got control of Duncan's body at the moment? Take your hands off him. And have you got control of Duncan's body at the moment? Yes or no? Move forward for yes, backwards for no. Yes. Okay, stand up. Come back. Come back.
You got to drive it in, yeah?
Stand up.
Later, another participant named Duncan steps into the center and takes Jay's place. As the group continues asking questions, Duncan starts swaying more noticeably. Based on how they interpret the movement, some believe it could be a response to what they think is a teenage male spirit. A few members mention that the atmosphere feels heavier, especially since Cannock Chase has long been linked to reports of a figure locals sometimes call the Black-Eyed Girl.
And it's about to begin. What's about to begin? Look. Are you using Duncan to communicate? Come out of Duncan. Come out of Duncan. We command you to come out of Duncan and move out now.
Why are you
No. Move out of Duncan.
Ow,
You're not
you
welcome in
pulled my
Duncan
hair. Stop
anymore.
your bloody...
The investigation later moves to nearby White Lady's Priory, another historic location known for paranormal legends. Soon after arriving, several people report sudden cold spots. During a spirit box session, the name Ronald seems to come through, followed by the phrase, "It's about to begin." Around the same time, Duncan reacts strongly, which causes the group to stop the session and tell whatever might be communicating to leave him alone. The investigation ends without anyone being harmed, but the atmosphere remains tense as the group leaves, unsure what caused the events. Security camera footage shows a large ape-like figure quickly crossing a street late at night. The creature seems to be trying to move quietly and avoid being noticed, but the camera captures it clearly enough to see its shape. It has a large body covered in fur and moves surprisingly fast for its size. While its appearance reminds many people of Bigfoot, its movements also look somewhat human. The short clip leaves people wondering whether it was truly a mysterious creature or simply someone creating a hoax. On a beach in Vietnam, someone discovered a strange creature that had washed ashore. At first, it looked like a bundle of dried tree roots, but the root-like strands were slowly moving, almost like tentacles. Curious about what it was, the person not only filmed it, but decided to take it home and even touched it with their hand. The unusual appearance and movement left people wondering what the creature actually was, and whether bringing something unknown like that home was really a good idea. During an expedition, a group of people discovered a strange hole in the ice and decided to investigate it. Curious about what might be inside, they lowered a camera down into the hole. Instead of seeing only ice beneath the surface, the camera showed what looked like dry ground under the ice. When the footage was shared online, some viewers believed it could support the old idea of a hollow Earth, suggesting there might be hidden spaces beneath the surface of the planet. Others thought it was more likely just an unusual natural formation or a strange feature of the ice, since the exact location was never revealed. The discovery remained a mystery. The video comes from Overland Nomad, a U.S. overland and off-road adventure channel that documents vehicle travel, remote camping, and wilderness exploration. It takes place on February 24th, 2026 at South Padre Island in Texas, United States.
Take a break from work, from daily life, and come out here in the wilderness and sit by the fire and think about things, you know? I think all of us need a little reset every so often, doesn't matter who, everyone needs one. It's important. I kid you not, I was cooking and I was just happened to stare through the window and I see a light like coming up, like someone walked. And it freaked me out. I got my protection and I grabbed Piper because Piper will attack. And yeah, it was a lady. I saw there was a car that went up to the East Cut. And I do know that there's one car out there. I could see its lights, and I guess they're stuck. But look, I would love to help. But I'm by myself, there's no one out here, and I don't know if it's a trap.
While making dinner, David notices a light slowly moving across the beach toward his campsite. As the person gets closer, he sees it's a woman whose vehicle is stuck in the sand nearby. She explains what happened, but reacts oddly when he offers help. Even when he offers his phone and other assistance, she refuses, which makes him uneasy. Being alone in such a remote place shifts the mood quickly, and trusting his instincts, David starts getting ready to leave the campsite.
I was thinking about just camping a few miles south, but then I spoke to my wife and she had a good point. She's like, that just sounds super sketchy. She's like, I don't know how you're gonna go to sleep. And I said, yeah, you're right. And I did call, I called 911. I called the county just to report it, and they said they couldn't do much. They're like, we can't send anyone out there to like rescue or anything. Like, they're on their own on that one. And then I told them my predicament, and the guy was like, oh yeah, that sounds super sketchy, I'd probably leave. So
After packing his gear and securing his equipment, David contacts local authorities to report the situation. However, he's told that no immediate help can be sent to the area. With no nearby support available, he decides it's safer to leave. As he drives away, he reflects on how, in remote places, encounters with other people can sometimes be riskier than wildlife or the environment. The experience shows how unpredictable solo camping in isolated areas can be, reminding him that trusting instincts and staying cautious is important. A group of friends in Nevada was out one night when they suddenly noticed a strange craft in the sky. At first, it looked like a normal airplane, but when they zoomed in, they realized something was different. The craft appeared much flatter than a typical aircraft, almost like a saucer, and it was surrounded by a very bright glowing orb that looked like some kind of shield. The unusual shape and light made people question what it really was, with some believing it could be a UFO, while others think it might be experimental military technology, a drone, or a regular aircraft with unusual lighting. A hiker on the Appalachian Trail recorded footage of a strange creature while walking through the highlands. The figure appeared to look somewhat like a large bird with white feathers and a big beak, but it also had large hollow-looking eyes. The creature was partly hidden behind a tree, making it difficult to clearly see the rest of its body. After the video was shared online, many people tried to figure out what the creature could be, but no clear explanation was found. Some thought it might be an unknown animal, while others believed it could be something more mysterious. The next creepy video comes from Wandering Where, a UK channel known for solo adventures and camping in remote countryside spots. On May 12th, 2023, the host travels to Rosedale in the North York Moors, England, driving along narrow roads through thick fog. The moorland looks quiet and misty with very little visibility across the hills. While walking along small trails, distant wildlife sounds echo through the fog. During the exploration, the host also notices some old historical remains scattered around the area and spots a ring ousel, a bird usually found in upland regions.
And the fog. Oh mate, come with me. Honestly, I almost feel like you're my only comfort at the minute. There's no one else here. Oh mate, just imagine if a werewolf bounded over the ridgeline there. I mean, what would you do? You'd have no chance, would you? You'd be super fast. You'd be doing 60. And you'd be doing grease lightning Pumo just as far as you can over a ridge trying to get away. You'd never make it. I don't want to think about it. Talking of speed though, here's a bit of a weird one. My mate asked me the other day about Charlie, my dog.
As the host walks deeper into the moor alone, they point out how quiet and isolated the area feels. The thick fog reduces visibility, making small sounds like wind in the grass or distant movements seem louder. Even though the landscape is wide open, the atmosphere creates an uneasy feeling, as if something might be watching.
Age all of a sudden in the middle of nowhere. What are you putting in there? A wildebeest or something? Before you're released into the wilds on the moors. Maybe that's where they aired up the werewolves. Grow them in a lab and then just have them out here feeding them and just getting them ready for the environment before they release them. I don't know. I think I've watched way too many horror movies, to be honest. Well, hang on a minute. We've got a plaque. We might have some inf. What the heck? I can't see what I'm looking at. I don't know. This must be like some mad cultural spot of history or something, but yeah, it's kind of lost on me today. Hang on. And it is. Da, 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 da. Bloody hell. Wow. I've heard a couple of them up here. I don't know what type of bird they are, but they're making an amazing noise. It's a real squeak or something. I've never heard anything like it. But anyway, the Sheriff's Pit. Oh, hang on a minute. It could be one of these. A ring... What? Uzi? Oh, yeah. One of them. And it is. Oh, mate. I've just seen a ring Uzi. What?
There's a small plaque attached explaining its background. Even so, seeing it standing in the middle of the foggy moors feels unusual. Surrounded by open land and mist, the unexpected structure adds a bit of curiosity and an uneasy feeling to the already heavy atmosphere.
It's such a good thing I decided to cut back on that trail and not do the full length of it. I'd have still been outside now. I'd have been absolutely drenched. It is making this area a little bit more eerie though. I've got to be honest, it's a bit dodgy. I don't know, up the way I've just got like a road that goes into the mist and cloud, and then now it's all raining. I can't see down into Rosedale or anything. This road, there's passing traffic. I'm hoping it's going to get quiet at night, which I think it will, but honestly I've only been here about 45 minutes. I've already had one car full of clowns pull up. I mean, say clowns, they weren't like white-faced and wearing red noses or anything, but yeah, some young uns. I don't know what was up with them. Fair play, whoever, whatever, young uns, you know, but they got out of the car and they were standing there screaming their head off. Bit random, but yeah, so I hope it's not off through for like.
After arriving at the selected camping spot, the host begins getting things ready for the night. Strong winds and light rain move across the moor, while the phone signal keeps dropping. The sounds of the weather, along with faint traffic in the distance, carry across the open hills, making the area feel even more remote. Even with the rough conditions, the host cooks a quick outdoor meal and prepares to spend the night off-grid in the middle of the moorland. While exploring the woods, someone came across a very unusual tree with a hollow opening that was glowing red from the inside. When the camera zoomed in, it looked like there was a fire burning inside the tree. The strange part was that there was no smoke, and the outside of the tree didn't appear to be burning or damaged at all. The tree looked completely normal on the outside, which made the situation even more confusing and left people wondering how something like that could happen. Someone stepped outside to enjoy the evening sky and witnessed an intense lightning display. The bright flashes across the sky looked impressive, but they also showed how powerful and dangerous lightning storms can be. While the sight may look beautiful, lightning is unpredictable and can be very risky. Because of this, it is important to stay safe during storms and avoid standing outside in the rain or trying to film the lightning, as it can put your life in danger. The video is from Echo Nesters, a solo van life channel that follows road trips across the American West. The creator travels in a camper van named Dirty Dolly with her dog Clementine, sharing peaceful camping moments and the challenges of exploring remote areas alone. This footage was filmed on March 6, 2026 in Oregon, United States, beginning near Panther Creek, before later stopping at a truck stop along US 97 and eventually heading to the Prineville Reservoir campground.
These little trails. I think we're going to go towards the creek.
Michelle arrives at a quiet, dispersed campsite in the forest near Panther Creek while traveling alone with her dog, Clementine. She parks the camper van and sets up a simple camp, starting a small fire, preparing food, and briefly walking along nearby trails that lead to the creek. At first, the area feels calm, surrounded by tall trees and the gentle sound of flowing water. But as the sun sets behind the tree line, the forest begins to feel darker and more closed in, and the silence becomes more noticeable.
Once the sun starts going down, something kind of shifts out here in the woods. Not sure what it is, but I'm pretty sure I'm not going to be able to sleep too great out here. I don't know, just not feeling it. So I think we're just going to pack up. We didn't unpack too much. Shut a few things down, put the chairs away, and not sure where we're going tonight, but I don't think we're going to be sleeping here. What do you think, Clem? She'll sleep anywhere, but yeah. It's getting pretty darn chilly, and yes, I brought more wood, but I don't think I'm gonna stick around here much longer. It is pretty though, but not the vibe I'm going for when it gets dark.
Instead of ignoring the uneasy feeling, Michelle decides not to spend the night at the campsite. She calmly says she likely wouldn't sleep well there and starts packing up the few things she had taken out. Even though nothing actually appears or approaches, the darkness and isolation make her decide it's better to leave before nightfall.
Sleep much better when I hear things all night and know people are around versus a very quiet forest where I can't see anywhere. See what's going on around me.
The next day, Michelle keeps driving through Oregon and later arrives at a campground near Prineville Reservoir. The area feels more open, with wide views and a few other campers nearby, unlike the enclosed forest she left earlier. Even though nothing actually happened the night before, the uneasy feeling in the woods was enough for her to move on and find a place where she could sleep more comfortably. While flying high above the clouds in a helicopter, a rider witnessed a strange object moving through the sky. The object appeared circular and was traveling at a very high speed, which surprised everyone on board. It did not look like a normal aircraft, leaving the witnesses confused about what they had just seen. Some possibilities could be an advanced drone, a satellite, or something that people might describe as a UFO, since the object could not be clearly identified. A man exploring the woods comes across a strange, towering structure that immediately catches his attention. From a distance, it almost looks like a mountain, but instead of spreading out like a normal mountain, it rises sharply straight up like a massive rock pillar shooting into the sky. The unusual shape leaves him confused about what he's actually looking at, making people wonder whether it's a rare natural rock formation created by geological forces, or possibly some kind of old human-made structure hidden deep in the forest. The couple from 2 seats forward is in Cannock Chase, Staffordshire, UK, on February 23, 2026. They drive through the quiet forest area looking for a discreet place to park their van for the night with their dog, Rusty. Their plan is simple: cook dinner inside the van and spend a peaceful night parked nearby. The surroundings are dark and calm with very little traffic, giving the area a quiet but slightly tense atmosphere as they search for a suitable spot.
Car coming. I can see lights. Oh, is he flashing you? Rusty, get in the van. Were they flashing? Well, we're back in, but we don't know if we're staying here. Because somebody was flashing the lights at us. They were, weren't they?
The mood suddenly changes when a car's headlights shine toward them. The couple immediately becomes tense, worried they might have been noticed while camping in what they thought was a hidden spot.
I've got a beam on, look. I don't even know if that's showing me. Paul is moving us on. I don't think he liked them flashing at him. And I had this big head torch on from Timu. And it's actually like a beam of light. Hang on. Hang on, let me sit down then, as I'll be arrested. Stop! We are on the move.
We're on the move.
You didn't like being flashed at, did you? We'll keep you updated if we're safe. And it does not look suspicious. And the torch has got stuck on. I can't turn it off, it's your TV one that's broke. Jesus. Bloody hell.
They talk about the flash of headlights, unsure if it was meant for them or just a passing vehicle. The uncertainty creates a brief moment of tension, but they decide to stay and continue the night. By morning, the mood is completely different. Sunlight fills the area as they make breakfast, ride their bikes, and let Rusty run around nearby. Looking back on the night, they note that stealth camping can bring moments of uncertainty, but peaceful mornings like this make van life worth it. A TikTok user shared a disturbing video after returning home from running an errand. As he approached his house, he noticed a strange figure inside, standing behind a glass window. The figure appeared dark and devil-like, with glowing eyes, and it stared at him without moving. After a moment, it slowly turned away and disappeared into the darkness inside the house. What made the situation even more unsettling was the user's claim that he lives alone, leaving viewers wondering who or what the figure could have been. A passenger noticed a strange object flying past at an extremely high speed and first thought it might be a bird. However, the object was moving far too fast to be a normal bird and seemed quicker than most aircraft. After returning home, the passenger shared the footage on Reddit, where it quickly caught people's attention. Some viewers believed the object looked like a flying saucer, while others suggested it might be a secret aircraft or advanced technology. With no clear explanation, the video led to many debates about what the fast-moving object in the sky could have been. The video follows an exploration in Pluckley, Kent, England on February 18, 2025. The host looks into the area's local legends and history, starting at the Black Horse Inn, a place often linked to paranormal reports. Stories about objects moving on their own, mysterious footsteps, and sightings of Victorian-era figures add to the village's eerie reputation.
She is believed to be a member of the Dering family, buried in the churchyard, often seen weeping by her gravestone, carrying a red rose.
And apparently there's another, the white lady, that being seen in the church. The feeling inside the church, when you're inside, is very
Like eerie.
Yeah.
In all honesty though, I know lots of people don't believe in like ghosties and spirits, but I genuinely have seen things that I cannot explain.
The pub is known for strange activity. Some locals say glasses move on their own, and items disappear only to show up again later. The host takes in the history of the place, and the sense of anticipation slowly starts to build.
We came back from the pub after dinner, which was chef's kiss. So before we get cozy and back in the van, we're gonna go and check probably the scariest sounding place in Pluckley, which is called Screaming Woods. So we're gonna go for a short walk in the woods.
They then head to St. Nicholas Church, another place strongly connected to the village's ghost stories. At the churchyard, they visit the grave linked to the Red Lady, a spirit believed to wander the area searching for her lost child, while legends also speak of the White Lady, said to appear inside the church itself. The mood around the church feels heavy and melancholic, rather than outright frightening, with the fading daylight giving the quiet location a slightly uneasy atmosphere.
The screams. The thing is, we need to try not to get lost.
Deep in the forest, the hosts talk about old legends shared by locals. The woods remain quiet, but the darkness and isolation create tension. They mention reports of screams sometimes heard at night in the nearby Daring Woods, often called the Screaming Woods. No paranormal activity is captured during the visit, but the mix of folklore, darkness, and isolation keeps the tension high. Later, they return to their camper van and reflect on the village's haunted locations. The night turns out to be calmer than expected, though the eerie atmosphere still leaves an impression, and they hint they might come back again, possibly to spend the night at one of the haunted spots. During a nighttime flight over the skies of Boston, a passenger noticed two mysterious glowing orbs moving around in the darkness outside the plane. The lights appeared to be drifting or circling in the sky, catching the passenger's attention and raising questions about what they could be. Since the objects couldn't be identified, some people consider them UFOs, though that doesn't necessarily mean they're alien spacecraft. The strange sight left viewers debating whether the orbs were something unusual in the sky, a natural phenomenon, or simply lights that looked more mysterious than they actually were. An old video that many people thought showed an alien actually turned out to be something very different. In the footage, the creature looks strange and unsettling at first, which is why some people on paranormal pages believed it was an extraterrestrial. However, the animals in the video were actually bears living in a sanctuary in Germany. These bears had lost most of their fur for unknown reasons, which made their appearance look very unusual. Without their thick fur, the bears look completely different from what people normally expect, which is why the footage confused so many viewers. The video comes from My Name's Teo, a US lifestyle and adventure vlog channel that features urban exploration, visits to abandoned places, and travel moments. It's December 10th, 2024, in the United States. The video starts with Teo filming from the back of his van parked outside a Starbucks. After dropping a friend off, he stops to charge his devices and get a coffee, briefly talking about a recent Christmas party in Texas and meeting someone named Dolly. The relaxed music and casual conversation set a calm tone before they head out for the day's exploration.
It used to be,
Ooh.
Uh-oh.
That's creepy.
Did you see that?
Yeah.
Should we go in?
No. What? You're the person in the... Okay, let's get out of here.
Soon after, the group arrives at an abandoned incinerator building. From the outside, it looks badly deteriorated, with rusted metal, broken concrete, and dark openings that make the inside hard to see. As they approach the entrance, nervous laughter starts, and they question whether they should really go inside.
Oh, wow.
You want me to show the people?
Yeah.
All right, let's go. Wow. That's pretty scary.
Two of you better not come around that corner and try to make me choose which one is the real one.
While standing near the building, Teo talks about some of the reported history of the place. According to local information, the structure may have been used as a meat processing facility in the 1950s, with burning equipment once operating on the property.
I thought those were Christmas lights, but they're bullet holes.
You thought they were Christmas lights?
I thought they were Christmas lights. Do they not look like Christmas lights?
They do.
They do.
Oh.
But those are bullet holes.
Be careful, there's a huge hole right here.
Oh my God, I thought that was a puddle. Okay.
Whoa!
All right.
Whoa!
Wow. Did it feel like super stable or?
No.
No.
No. Oh, this whole time we've been.
I was trying to get a thumbnail.
They continue exploring the area, climbing to higher spots to take photos of the abandoned facility. The ground is muddy and slippery, and parts of the structure look unstable. Bullet holes and damaged surfaces suggest the place has been abandoned for a long time, so they move carefully while documenting the ruins. Later, the tone of the video shifts when Teo visits a neighborhood known for synchronized Christmas light displays. The streets are filled with colorful lights and music, creating a festive atmosphere. He reflects on childhood memories of seeing Christmas lights with family, ending the video on a lighter, more nostalgic note. A home security camera records a strange moment where a cat suddenly gets lifted off the ground while walking, flips in the air, and lands safely on a couch. The movement looks like something pushed or flipped the cat with enough force to even knock its collar off. Just moments later, a glowing orb floats across the scene, making the situation even more mysterious. While some people believe the footage might be edited or staged, others think the unusual movement and the orb make the moment feel eerie and difficult to explain. Someone was live streaming from a football field late at night, while the camera was pointed at a streetlight. Suddenly, a strange figure walked under the light. The creature had its back turned to the camera and moved very quickly in a way that looked unusual. Because of its shape and movement, some people thought it looked similar to the creature often called the Rake. The short moment in the video left viewers wondering whether it was something mysterious or simply something misunderstood. It's urban rats in Bolton, UK, in February 2025. They're positioned under a newly installed billboard near a deserted aquarium, with an active railway viaduct running nearby. The location feels industrial and neglected, surrounded by abandoned structures and the rumble of passing trains overhead.
Behind me is the wall, and the rat is going to be climbing up. I'll just wait for a quiet spot. And then that's us, we're up there. Oh guys, I climbed up, I've hit the rail and nadded myself. Honestly to God, I can't even stand up at the minute. Oh.
He scales a wall about 10 feet high while carrying a heavy backpack, then carefully moves through gaps in the railing and along a narrow footing to reach the covered area behind the billboard. Once there, he sets up a DD tarp to shield himself from the wind and pitches a small AL Kit soloist one-person tent. The setting is harsh, with temperatures close to freezing, surrounded by abandoned industrial structures, scattered scrap metal, and nearby groups of travelers gathered around small fires.
Look, he's over there, burning the fire up. See? He's got a fire burning. Look. Ambulance over there.
Tension rises when a stranger walks through the area, playing loud music and lighting fires under the billboard. The man passes close to his hiding spot, putting his setup at risk of being noticed. With the noise from nearby travelers and the loud music, staying hidden becomes much harder.
Well, what a rough sleep that was last night. Loads going on out there, honestly. But woke up a few times off people shouting and swearing, and it sounded like they were right outside my tent. Now traffic is proper busy out there. Just remembered, we've no lighter, so there's no brew this morning. So what we'll do, we're just gonna get ourselves up and get ourselves out of here. Before I go out this morning, I'm gonna pack everything away and then I'll have a look what's going on outside that door.
The night turns harsh as frost forms and the temperature drops, leaving him dealing with the cold while staying alert for any movement below. Even with limited gear and tough conditions, he keeps a low profile. By morning, frost covers the area. Paul quietly packs up his camp and carefully climbs down using improvised methods, bringing another challenging night of urban stealth camping to an end. A family began noticing strange tracks during their outings, and at first thought it was just a one-time event. However, as time passed, they kept seeing the same tracks during different seasons, which made them believe that some creature was living nearby. Eventually, one family member claimed to have seen the creature clearly and believed it was Bigfoot, not a bear or any other known animal. Even after thinking the creature lived close to their home, the family decided to stay there. One member even said they sometimes throw stones at the creature when they see it, claiming they are not afraid. Some unusual images were captured in a wooded area showing a large, dark creature moving through the leaves. The footage is unclear, making it difficult to see the creature's exact features. However, the figure appears large and covered in dark fur, and it does not clearly resemble a human or any known animal. Because of its size and appearance, some people believe it could be a mysterious creature like Bigfoot. Others think it might simply be a shadow, a camera effect, or an animal that is hard to identify in the footage. A confusing image from a trail camera shows what appears to be a panther-like animal with white tusk-shaped features and a faint, translucent-looking shape nearby. At first glance, it almost looks like the animal has large tusks, similar to a saber-toothed tiger. However, when people looked closer, some suggested that the tusks might actually be part of the animal's body, seen from an unusual angle, possibly the backside or another part of the panther. Because the image quality is poor, and lighting conditions may have affected the camera, it is difficult to clearly understand what is being shown, leaving the picture open to different interpretations. A YouTube user named Jordan Powers in Canada recorded a video after noticing unusual lights in the night sky. The lights were arranged in a strange formation rather than appearing like normal stars or aircraft. Similar lights have been reported in different parts of the world, which has led to many discussions about what they might be. Some people believe they could be satellites, while others think they might be UFOs. Despite the different ideas, there is still no clear explanation for the strange lights seen in the sky. Back in 2009, a hiker in the Colorado mountains claimed he spotted what looked like a Sasquatch hiding behind some rocks and watching the hikers. The creature appeared to have brown fur, and the area is already known as a hotspot for Bigfoot sightings. After noticing it, the hiker decided to go back to the same spot to check if he had really seen what he thought he did. But when he returned, the creature was gone, and the only thing left there was a pile of straw, leaving people wondering whether it meant anything or if the original sighting was just a misunderstanding. A trail camera placed in a forest captured a strange creature that surprised the people who set up the camera. The animal looked unusual, especially its face, and in the image, it seemed to have multiple hands or arms. When the owner checked other trail cameras in the same area, they found more pictures of similar creatures, including one that appeared to have 3 arms. Although the creatures looked similar, they did not appear to be exactly the same. The strange images left people wondering whether it was an unknown animal or simply something unusual caught by the camera. The video comes from Adventuring with Amanda, a US channel focused on solo and small group camping, van life travel, and remote wilderness trips. It takes place on January 21st, 2026 at American Girl Mine BLM near Yuma on the Arizona-California border. Early in the morning, the group is settling into their quiet desert campsite, a wide and isolated area typical of BLM land. Around 7:30 a.m., they suddenly hear someone yelling nearby. They quickly realize it's a man who had already approached their camp earlier in the week, and since this is the second encounter in just a few days, the group becomes concerned and starts preparing for a potentially uncomfortable situation.
I don't have a life! I cannot love! I have no purpose! I cannot love!
Did you make the call, Dan? Huh? Did you make a call? No. Oh, I thought he said you were calling.
Huh?
Here. I've got him. I can't call because I got him on here. Can you call the authorities?
A short time later, the man shows up at the campsite. He starts asking about a nearby event called Schoolie Palooza, but his behavior seems erratic. Because of the earlier encounter, his presence quickly creates tension. As the conversation continues, the situation becomes more concerning. The campers stay calm and try to avoid confrontation while keeping their distance. One person firmly tells him he needs to leave the campsite, another speaks calmly to prevent things from escalating, and a third stands nearby holding a tire iron as a precaution in case the situation turns unsafe. Police officers eventually arrive and take control of the situation. They remove the man from the campsite and speak with the campers about safety in the remote desert area. According to the video, the officers explain that isolated places like this can sometimes lead to unpredictable encounters and stress the importance of being prepared when camping far from populated areas. The group stays calm and works together until authorities arrive, showing how awareness and preparation are important in remote environments. A blurry image sent by a viewer shows a strange figure captured outdoors at night. Because the image is unclear, it is difficult to identify exactly what the figure is. Some people think it could simply be a person wearing a costume and walking around outside. Others believe it might be something more unusual, possibly something unknown. Due to the poor quality of the image, there is no clear answer, and the figure remains open to different interpretations. A strange event was recorded where a fiery bubble-like object suddenly appeared in the sky. The glowing object looked like a ball of fire and formed very quickly before disappearing just as fast without leaving any trace. Because of how unusual it looked, people began guessing what it could be. Some believe it might have been a secret weapon test, while others think it could be something paranormal. With very little information available, the true cause of the strange fireball in the sky remains unknown. In the middle of the woods, people noticed something strange that looked like a tree growing horns. At first, it seemed mysterious and even paranormal, but there may be a simpler explanation. According to some stories, in the past, certain rituals involved placing the heads of rams into the trunk of a tree. Over time, the horns in the tree could appear fused as the tree continued to grow around them. Because of this, what looks like a tree with horns might actually be the result of an old tradition, rather than something supernatural. A photo was posted on the Bigfoot subreddit by a user who said it was discovered in a box of old pictures at their 98-year-old grandfather's home in Connecticut. The photo had no date or label and was mixed in with normal family photographs. In the image, a dark figure with unusually long arms can be seen, and it doesn't resemble anything else found in the box. Why the photo was there, who originally took it, and the story behind it will likely remain a mystery. Thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to subscribe and hit the notification bell so you can stay updated with our latest videos.